Today, I'm going to be interviewing an actual engineer from the Australian Air Force. Please, introduce yourself.
My name's Flight Lieutenant Dave Palmer, and I'm an armament engineer in the Air Force.
Please, elaborate on that. What is your role in the Air Force, and what is it exactly you do?
What we say is that without armament, then the Air Force is pretty much just an expensive airline. So the role of the armament engineer is to make sure that those weapon systems work properly, so the explosive ordnance functions as the aircrew want it to, when they want it to.
Oh, that's awesome. How did you get into engineering?
I've always had a healthy interest in explosives, and this was a way of incorporating that into a job. So I guess combining an interest into a career.
How exactly, though, did you hear about the military branch of engineering?
Just saw the presentation one day at high school and rocked up to the recruiting office, and it just went from there. Just went to the first interview and kept going, and found myself at the Defence Force Academy.
How many years did you spend training or in college, etc.?
It was about 4 years of training, 3 years of military, 4 years of uni. Obviously those two occurred concurrently, and once I'd finished there, I graduated. My degree was mechanical engineering. The Defence Force Academy isn't the only way to become an aerospace engineer or an armament engineer or an electrical engineer. You could either have a degree already and go straight to officer training school, or if you don't have a degree, you may do a year off your own bat, and then the Air Force will pay for the rest of your degree at the university of your choice, and then you can go to officer training school. So there are options out there.
Describe a day in the life. Like, what do you do? Just give us an example of a day.
A normal day for me here on the flight line would comprise me coming to work, coming to a morning brief where we'll lay out and talk about the priorities for the aircraft. Obviously the aircraft break periodically and we need to get those fixed as quickly as possible. After we assign the priorities, my job will then be assessing some of the things wrong with the aircraft that can't be fixed in time for them to fly, and then I'll make an engineering judgment based on what's wrong with them and based on what the aircraft needs to do, to then carry forward that unserviceability until we can fix it.
Have you been deployed being in the military? I know that's an option.
I've been lucky enough to be deployed. Early on I got to go to Okinawa, Japan, as well as Malaysia on some training deployments. As well as that, I had the honour of going over to the Middle East to be the senior engineer there for 3.5 months. There was times when we had multiple prop leaks across both our aircraft, and had engine inefficiencies and all sorts of issues that were, I guess, threatening to stop us flying the missions over there, and just the maintenance planning with the team to really push through all that and get the result and get the aircraft flying again.
Interesting. What are some advantages to being with the military?
One of the, I guess, strengths of being in the Air Force is there are a lot of options for different jobs. It's not like just getting a job and that's your job until you progress on that. You get posted every 2 to 3 years, so you never really get bored of being in the same position.
Time for the real question. How does it pay?
Good. It compares fairly favourable with the civilian world. I guess, especially when you roll in some of the, I guess, the fringe perks and benefits that we get, like a rent allowance, which makes it a lot easier to find a place and live in. You also get access to free medical, free gym facilities, free dental. There's a lot of extras that you get that really help out.
Whoa, free dental? No, that's a selling point. Anyway, is there any final thoughts for us? Upcoming projects that you'd like to talk about?
In the future, we're looking to acquire the Super Hornet and also the JSF. So those will be two very exciting aircraft, especially for armament engineers, because there'll be a lot of new stores and there'll be a lot to learn. I am excited. It would be good to get these new aircraft in, and that opens up also possibilities for overseas postings or postings to a new aircraft, and so that's pretty exciting to be the start of maintenance on a new platform for the Air Force.
Well, thank you for talking to us. It's been an absolute pleasure hearing all that career in aerospace engineering with the military has to offer. Thank you and goodbye.